So this is the BMW 4 Series, but just not any old 4 Series. This happens to be the M440i, which is the top of the range, the all singing, all dancing, or kitchen sink level, as I like to call it. The 4 Series was launched off the back of the 3 Series, believe it or not, in 2013. So that makes it 10 years old this year, which is pretty incredible. Originally, it was available as a 2-door convertible or a 2-door coupe. However, 10 years later and 4 generations of 4 Series, we can now get this car as a Gran Coupe. So it has 4 doors and a boot. Or if you live in the States, it's also known as a liftback. Quite an appropriate name, I think, for this car. It's been very popular. It sells very well indeed. In actual fact, in 2021, What Car magazine voted it the best coupe of the year. So it's got a lot to live up to. Let's get around it. Let's have a look at it. Let's sort of discuss what it's like together. Let's have a look in the boot. Let's get it out on the road, give it a road test, and give our evaluation on the new facelifted version of the BMW 4 Series, namely the M440i. You're watching me, AJ, on the Player YouTube channel. And if you've never seen what we do before, because we don't just do car reviews, then watch the next minute and a half and enjoy. This is how a car should sound. Listen to this.
I didn't really push it either. I was just having a bit of fun.
Oh really? So there you have it, guys. The Ferrari Roma.
I think it makes a good word.
Nice to see you.
Show us your big chopper, your helicopter. So here we are, the Morgan Roadster. Hey guys, guess what? It's another morning here out in sunny France. So whether you like that front grille or not, you've got to admit, it's a really good looking car. It's available in 10 different colours, 3 different trim levels with a number of different engine options, which we'll go into in a minute. Your starting price for your entry level car is just £42,745 UK pounds. However, if you want to go top of the range, the kitchen sink model as I call it, you will be looking at £57,000 plus. So your entry-level 4 Series car will come with a decent set of 18-inch rims, and you'll get LED headlights that you can upgrade if you want to. However, I think these are particularly good. Can't see the point in that. You get front and rear parking sensors, and in addition to that, you will get a beautiful leather interior with heated front seats. Now, one thing to point out with this car is it sits 6 millimeters lower than its predecessor. It's also longer and wider, but has a 50-50 weight distribution with a much stiffer suspension setup. That makes this car a lot different to the old one. Right, let's check out under the bonnet what the engine and gearbox configurations are for the 4 Series. The actual bonnet release catch is down here in the driver's footwell. It's a double pump. I hesitated there because I wanted to mention it. And I will tell you as well, if you're driving the left-hand drive version of this car, then it's going to be in the passenger footwell because they're not going to swap it around, costs too much money. Obviously there's no catch here because it is a BMW, that's why you've got the double pump. You've got gas struts on this car, premium quality finish to this car everywhere, from the interior to the exterior to even to the under the bonnet here and everything. Just look at the way this car has actually been put together, it's beautiful. Now this is the 440i, this is the top of the range. There are 3 engine configurations that you can have on this car. So your 420i is your actual entry-level car. 420i is a 2-litre 4-cylinder turbo-powered petrol engine. develops 184 brake horsepower. Now if you jump up to the 430i, you jump up to 258 brake horsepower. Same engine, just 258 brake horsepower. Both of those configurations are available as two-wheel drive or BMW's X-Drive, which is your all-wheel drive. So just remember that as well. And those engines are 48-volt mild hybrid assisted. In other words, you get a little bit more bang for your buck when you put your foot down using the mild hybrid system, and at the same time you get better fuel economy. Now if you want something really tasty, proper tasty, this is the top of the range 440i. And this is the straight 6 3-litre petrol engine, turbo powered. Develops, wait for it, 374 brake horsepower. That's why you've got these big struts on here trying to hold everything in place. When you actually put your foot down in this car, you will feel it. It just wants to go. You get a 0 to 60 time, BMW say 4.5 seconds. But we tested it 3.8 seconds. Oh yes, this thing flies. Top speed 155 miles an hour. If you want, there are no, unfortunately, manual gearboxes with this car. It's just an 8-speed auto gearbox. But to be honest with you, who wants a manual when this thing's flying down the road? You just got to hang on to the wheel. So 3 choices. At the end of the day, whatever suits your type of driving or your lifestyle. Let's check out round the back of the 4 Series, and I think you'll agree with me. It's as good looking from the back as it is from the front. I love the design, the styling on this car. I mean, lots of useless bits and pieces, but nevertheless, look at that bit of aero down the bottom there. Just gives it that little edge, doesn't it? You've got another piece here, kind of finishes off the boot on this car as well. You've got that long sweeping glass at the back. On this particular model, it's got privacy glass there as well. And you've got those twin exhausts. You've got LEDs either side. You get an electronic boot assist. Who really needs that on such a tiny boot? But inside there, you've got 440 litres of boot space. You get little added bits like shopping bag holders. You've got a 12-volt adapter in there. And the nice thing I like, if you want to get those seats down, because you've got to throw in a couple of extra suitcases or something, there's some little handles here. You just pull those and the seats flop down. All in all, great design, good size, good height as well. You know, at the end of the day, this is a coupe. It's a GT style car, but it's still, you're going to get loads of space and, you know, cases in there and stuff. Bit of a lip on here. That's the only thing I will worry about. If you are lifting heavier stuff in and out of here, you're going to have to watch you don't catch this. So do my little tip, the one I always tell everybody, stick some sticky back plastic on there, and then when it gets all scuffed up and marked, you just rip it off and put a new piece on. Costs somewhere like £1 British for a piece to go on there. It's a lot cheaper than spending out loads of money on aluminium and stuff. But all in all, practicality. 4 Series nails it. Let's check out in the back for the passengers, see how much room there is and what the bits and pieces are. The seat itself, the front seat, moves forward. There's a little latch there. It will move forward electronically. Very nice indeed. Didn't expect anything less than that, did you? Getting in and out of here, it's quite tight, but as you can see, if you crouch down, you can literally jump straight in. Extremely comfortable in the back here. I know it looks small, but it doesn't actually feel small. I think these little windows here are making it feel a lot bigger for me while I'm sat in here, but obviously on camera it can look a little bit different. But plenty of room, you can stretch out. Let's pull the seat back. I want to see what it's like with the legroom. The actual seats themselves have been scalloped in a way that they've cut out for your knees. Now that's in my normal driving position. As you can see, there is bags of room and I can get my feet under the seat as well. I'm going to push it back again, just so as it gives us a little bit more light in here to show you. Independent heating in the rear. This car comes with what they call tri-zone climate control. So you've got his and hers at the front, or his and his, whichever you want. And in the back here, you can actually set your own temperature and your actual air itself. It's all individually controlled. Love it. Really nice indeed. You've got 2 USB chargers in the back here as well. So if there's 2 of you in the back here, you're going to both be able to plug in. So there's not going to be any arguments over who gets to plug in what. But one thing you will notice, there is no 5th seat in the middle. This, at the end of the day, is a it's a coupe. The Gran Coupe, if you want that extra space or extra doors at the back here, that's the Gran Coupe. It comes as the 5-door version. This one being a 2-door, you're not going to get 5 seats across the back here. It's just not big enough. But you do get a very nice parcel shelf. I'm going to pull it down here. There's one thing I love with BMWs is the little attention to detail when it comes to design. So for example, the coffee cup holders in the back here, or tea holders, drink holders, whatever you want to call them, they're concealed. And the way that works, but you've got your arm on there, you don't, you know, like a hole there. It's really nice. So it actually feels nice and flat. But when you push the button, they both pop open. Now, it doesn't stop there. I think you're wondering why I'm spending a lot of time telling you about this, because I think someone deserves a little bit of credit for a design that is literally genius. Because when you put your drink in there, if the driver happens to hit the brakes and all the drinks and everything flies forward, normally you wouldn't have this ledge here, because it would just be a normal thing, and it'll come flying out and probably go all over your lap, or, you know, it could, you know, terrible. It might shoot forward and go all over the driver as well. But with this little ridge here, backwards and forwards, although it's working like that to cover up as well, it's also going to stop your drink flying out if the brakes are suddenly put on rather rapidly. So there you go. A little bit of credit to the man or woman or whoever designed that. I think it's absolutely excellent. Beautiful quality finish. As you can see, it's all leather in here. Love the red leather. Doesn't get much better, does it, guys? And a lovely finish on the roof itself. It's just all premium quality. And one little extra bit which I love, and it is an extra, but check out the seat belts. How nice are they? Ooh. In the back for the passengers, over and done with. Up front for the driver, the first thing you're going to notice is this is very familiar. This is 3 Series basically. Apart from this has the new sport seats in it, and wow, are these stunning, especially in this red leather with the black accents everywhere, and just the general finish, the quality of this. So this harps back to when we said at the beginning of the video that this car was a spin-off from the 3 Series. So it gets the 3 Series interior, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's a beautiful interior. Why not? Why, you know, why construct a whole new one just for the 4 Series? But you do get these nice seats, and they are electronically adjustable here at the front. There's a nice panel down here, you can do that. Speaking of panels, over here is your lighting panel. It's all sort of touchy-feely, haptic-y style. So you just push the buttons there, and you can, be honest, leave it in the auto mode. It'll pretty much do itself. You've also got your fog lights on there and stuff like that. And you've got a dimmer in here for your displays, so you can dim that at night if it's a little bit too bright. Loving the steering wheel. It's a little bit thinner than the old steering wheel as well. This particular car has got the extra pack on it, so you get the heated steering wheel as well. Beautiful. Let me jump in and I'll show you around this car, give you a bit more of an idea. First thing you're going to notice, you jump in the car. This is a driver's car, proper driver's car. Look at the way the seat is sat, and with that electronic adjustment. And then check out how much can you change, you know, your steering. It's incredible. You can have it right back here if you want to drive like that. Or if you can drive like that as well. Depends on your height, of course. If you're shorter, it's going to cater for everything in this car. You're going to get the right seating position. Just going to pull the door a little bit too there so you can see the finish on the door as well. It's got a beautiful Harman Kardon sound system in here, which you can set up again. It's got a graphic equalizer on it. Another new thing with this car is we've now got Android Auto wireless. So you can now actually use your Android phone wirelessly through here, and then use your Waze and all your sat navs and everything you've got on your phone for your tunes and things like that. Again, really great stuff. Another thing I want to point out, I didn't mention it outside because I was going to wait to explain what, the benefits of this. This car is predominantly built with aluminium. Now, not only does that make it lighter and more fuel efficient and obviously faster as well because of that lightness, but at the same time it makes it quieter. And the difference being that this car is a lot quieter than the old 4 Series. It has the addition of an acoustic windscreen as well. Yes, I know, when I heard that I thought, every man in the world wants an acoustic windscreen. Of course you do. Let's have a look in the centre here. Got a really nice armrest. It's a nice long arm. You can get your whole arm on there, so when you're driving, feel like you're king of the road. Inside here, got a USB adapter. You can get your phones in here, hide them away. So if you're popping in to pay for your fuel or whatever, just tuck them in there out the way, drop it down, no one can see anything. Again, that's really nice. You've got the same type of thing here. You've got a little push button lever there that you push that, and it pops open, and inside there you've got a double cup holder, you've got a 12-volt adapter as well, and you've got another USB in there. Now there is a wireless adapter in there. The only problem is, I've found, if you've got a phone and you're, say I've got an iPhone with a cover on it, when you put it in there, the cover makes it too big and it doesn't connect, so you can't actually get it to charge. So you have to take the cover off to get it to charge. So I've been just plugging it in, which is a shame really, because I think it could have been just that little bit bigger and it would have worked. A little bit of a faux pas there, BMW. BMW standard i7 iDrive system in here for all your TFT touchscreen graphics and everything. wonderful, second to none. We'll go into that when we get it out on the road, because you've got your big knob here. You know I love a decent knob, and that is a proper big black knob. I love it. Gear selector here, 8-speed auto, we mentioned that earlier. Right hand side of your drive modes. Again, I'm going to talk about drive modes when we get it out on the road, so I'm not going to go into all those now. You've got your camera controls here, your parking assistant, and then you can also turn your stability control off on that. I would love to get this car on the track, especially this 2-door version. I bet it's pretty spectacular. Steering wheel wise, well, I mentioned it's slightly thinner now. Much prefer the new steering wheel. This one's got the added addition of a heated steering wheel if you want. It's got like a winter pack on it. Right hand side are all your media controls, your telephone, your Ask a BMW button is all over there as well. This car also gets a head-up display, very nice indeed, and that's all adjusted on here. You can just flick between the radio channels or your tunes or whatever you're doing, sliding up. You've got your volume controls on there as well. Simple and easy, don't even take your eyes off the road. Beautiful. Left hand side are all your driver's aids, so you've got your lane keeper, your distance control, your cruise control, your speed limiter, your sign recognition, all built on there. Paddles, we've got to have some flappy paddles, of course we have. And then over here you can set your lights to your auto dip beaming. There's a little button on there, you just push, that sets all that up, so you don't even have to worry when you're going down the road if there's a car coming the other way. Let's check out in the glove box. I want to see how big the glove box is. It's fairly small on this car. I was quite surprised. It's taken up mostly by the BMW Bible, which is so thick, it's ridiculous. Why are we still producing these? This car actually has this on its computer. So if you want to go into owner's manual, just click on here and you can go straight into owner's. So why have we got this? I don't get it. It's just taking up room, costing money. Could save a bit of money, knock a bit off the price if you get my drift. I love the finish on it. You know, brushed aluminium, really nice. You've got your dual zone climate control up here. Again, all your climate buttons are buttons. So everything you're doing is push buttons. So if you've got gloves on or it's wet, you're not fiddling about up here on the screen. And then down here, you've got preset buttons as well for different bits and pieces. You've got another knob, got a volume knob here, really love that. And then you've got a mode as well, which changes the mode up here into radio or tunes, whatever you want. But a stunning bit of kit. You know, just sitting here looking at it and using it, it's practical, it looks nice, it feels nice, it's quiet. Let's get it out on the road, see what it goes like. Best bit of the reviews of when we get the cars out on the road, and this car especially so, because it is one of those cars you just want to drive in this car. You can get in it and literally drive 4, 5, 7, however many hours, and you're going to get out feeling exactly the way that you got in it. And I've become accustomed to that with BMW, just purely because of the shape of the seats, the driving position, and ultimately the way the cars are set up, which is beautiful. That's the only way to describe it. With the 4 Series, you obviously got a few extra bits and pieces. You've got like that acoustic windscreen, which is keeping the noise down. The car's built of aluminium, we've mentioned that. You know, it's ultra lightweight, everything is working beautifully. And to be honest with you, you can't really want for much more in this car, especially when you're in the top of the range 440i, like I'm in, the M440i, I should say. So when it comes to driving the car, you've got different modes. You've got sport mode, comfort mode, you've got Eco Pro mode and Eco mode, and then you've got an adaptive mode. Now, I've actually enjoyed driving this car in the adaptive mode because it actually senses the road surface and the type of driving that you're doing and adapts the car accordingly, which is really nice. However, in the Eco mode, you can choose 2 different variations. You can actually set it up to how you want it within that mode. So if you push the Eco mode, it will come up on the screen there and you can configure your actual individual setting, which is, again, really nice. Colour changes on there, so we'll go through sport mode. It goes a nice colour of red. Again, you can configure the individual, so you can set up your own, how you want the actual sport mode to go. You get the sound of that beautiful 6-cylinder engine suddenly roars into life. You get a higher rev band in this as well, and obviously when you put your foot down like that, hold on, you get a lot more bang for your buck with the acceleration. Jumping into comfort mode, again, you don't get an option on this, it's just comfort. So it's going to soften up the dampers, it's just going to be a nicer driving experience. And then finally jumping into Eco Pro mode, again, as I mentioned, you've got standard individual and you can configure the individual. Again, that's really nice, I love little bits like that. Go into the adaptive mode. Again, the colour changes. It is a red again, very similar to the sports mode, but that is now sensing the road surfaces, the road, you know, the conditions, the way I drive, and it's adapting everything accordingly. So I'm going to leave it in the adaptive mode. I quite like that. Driving the car, you've got a number of safety aids, fantastic. For instance, you've got blind spot mirrors on this car, you've got your cruise control, you've got a distance control, you've got lane keeping, sign recognition, you've got autonomous braking, you've got the cross traffic alert system as well on this car, so when you're reversing, you've got the cameras on there and the beepers and everything. Even the entry level car comes with the beepers, so you're pretty much covered on all round on a BMW. Generally though, driving the car, beautiful brakes, the whisper smooth 8-speed gearbox, totally love it, and it's just doing the job. If you want to put it in a manual, just click it over to the left like that, you can go to manual, and then you're on the paddles like this, and you can give it some beans and really enjoy it if you want to. I think that's really what this car was designed for having fun. That's what it's all about. Now, having fun with economy in mind, I'd put it back into the normal drive mode. I'll put it back into economy for a minute. We are currently getting, it tells you up on the top right hand side, 25.8 around town on a press road test. So remember, I am not driving this frugally. I am giving it the beans. I am enjoying every minute of it, because when I give it back, it goes back. So I'm going to have the best I can out of this car. When you buy it, obviously, you're going to take a little bit more care of it. You're probably going to, check that you're not putting your foot down as much and just enjoy the car. So you probably get even better mileage to the gallon. So 25.8 around town, which would kind of sort of meet up with BMW stated mid-30s for this on a run. So I can see it's easy going to get a mid-30s range, which for a 3-litre 6-cylinder engine isn't bad at all. All in though, guys, you've got to give one a test drive. Superb car. Personally, the 6-cylinder's stunning. There you have it, guys. The BMW 4 Series, or namely the 440i. What do I think of it? I think you'd be mad not to go and have a test drive in one of these. Whether you go for the 2-door version or whether you go for that Gran Coupe with 4 doors is entirely down to your lifestyle choice at the end of the day. But I think value for money, with a price starting from around 42,500 UK pounds, you're not going to go far wrong. And trust me, when you get behind the wheel of one of these, it's definitely going to, light up those taste buds for a little bit of motoring, if you like. One thing I do know is that you do get a decent warranty with this car as well. It's a typical BMW warranty. It's 3 years unlimited mileage. You get a 12-year anti-perforation warranty with that as well. That's the rusty bits underneath. 3-year paint warranty. And don't forget, with the mild hybrid system, you will always get 8 years or 100,000 miles. And all of those can be extended or transferred over if you do sell the car on. So it's a bit of a no-brainer. Get down, give one a test drive, and then you can figure out which trim level you want to go for. You've been watching me, AJ, on the Player YouTube channel. I hope you've enjoyed our little review of the BMW 4 Series, or as I say, namely the 440i today. Don't forget, like, subscribe and comment. If you could give us a comment down in the box, just say that you think we're doing a good job, or if you've got a question you want to ask, leave that down there and one of the team will get back to you. Don't forget, there is a subscribe button down there as well. You saw at the beginning of this video, we played a 1.5-minute little reel of what we do. So don't forget, we don't just do car reviews. So, if you want to subscribe, then at the end of the day, you might see something that's maybe more interesting than just a car review. So keep the bell sign unchecked and you'll get regular updates. If you could do us a favour and give us a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. We don't get a bonus, we don't get any extra pay, but what we do get is a pat on the back from the bosses and the sponsors say, job well done, when you thumbs up. And that's probably more important than anything else. Now, in return for that, I want to offer you guys something for free. Yes, I know, before you switch off, wait for it, because you're going to get something real value for money here for nothing. It's called The Player, and because we are part of The Player is a massive book, or bookazine, that we produce for us guys. Ladies, you can read it as well, but it is primarily for a men's lifestyle. It's 220 pages of everything. There's cars in there, there's boats in there, there's jet skis, there's helicopters, there's interviews, there's food, there's golf, there's holidays. It's all in there, guys. If you want a free copy of that, the online version of it, just head over to www.theplayer.co.uk. 1 second, make life easy for you. I'm going to bring it in here now. It's down there. I'm going to leave it there for a few seconds. Head over there. All you've got to do is put in your name and your email, and then sky's the limit. You can download it, you can look at it online, you can zoom in on it, you can turn the pages, even makes a fancy little sound as the pages go over. I quite like that. So if you fancy that for free, just send over there, it's down there now. Head over to theplayer.co.uk and just fill in those bits and pieces. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you next week with something hopefully equally as good as the BMW 4 Series. I'm hungry. Makes a difference when you're hungry. Play it back. If we're good, then